Alright, welcome back. This is more Pokemon Insurgence. This time we're going for the 6th badge. So, starting out, we're going to be going under the gym here. It's finally open to us. Here we're going to be facing Taen. So, I mostly go into battles blind, but I do allow myself to know what Taen is going to lead off with, just so that I don't automatically take a KO, because if I didn't, I would automatically lose the battle, basically. I try not to see what his mega is or anything. I just want to know what he's leading with. So for this battle, he's going to be leading with Grumpig, and we're going to take it down. Yeah. Orion here is probably the dumbest character in the game, honestly. Like, he decides to bet his legendary on a battle that he doesn't need to fight. And then he loses that battle because the other legendary was armored. Yeah, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Why would you get into that battle? You clearly see that this guy's been upgraded and you still want to fight him with your plain Jane legendary that you barely ever used against a cultist, and cultists tend to kill people. He's lucky he didn't die right there. Why is he a gym leader? Who? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, battle start. Taen is going to lead off with Grumpig, so I'm going to lead off with Dunsparce. This is going to be Dunsparce's official debut. We are going to get paralyzed. I was not accounting for that. Like I said, I only want to know what it is. I don't know what its moveset is. So if I knew what its moveset was, I probably would have went with Lumberry. Anyway, we get the win anyway. Zekron's going to come out, and fortunately, it doesn't set up on us. You could tell I'm a little bit confused here, like, man, maybe I should have swapped. But no, we're not going to. We're going to go to our Mega Flygon instead and select Dracon Voice. And just like with Mega Rayquaza, we get the one shot. And Flygon, Mega Flygon is just so powerful. As long as you don't miss, you're basically guaranteed to almost one hit everything. Like Charizard almost got one hit there. And even after Dragon Dance, I'm still faster. So Mega Charizard goes down. So we've gotten rid of his legendary and his mega and his lead off. And then the rest of his team is just going to fall like dominoes. But yeah, nothing else he has is worth talking about. Like, ooh, you got a burn orb. You're going to use guts. Too late. Oh, you had a second legendary, but it's base form Kyurem, which is going to do absolutely nothing to us, so we're going to take that down too. Yeah, we got more storyline. Let me know if you think I should start cutting out storyline. I want to leave the storyline in as much as possible so that people who just want to enjoy the Let's Play can enjoy it. By the way, over here to the right of this workshop, you have an electric and steel type tutor who can teach some decent moves. And then over here on the left hand side, you have the Rotom appliances to change your Rotom, and you also have the armor shop. Here I'm going to buy the Flygon armor because we're going to be swapping from using Mega Flygon to using Armored Flygon. Why? Because you only get one Mega per team, but you can have as many armored Pokemon as you want. So Armored Flygon is not as strong as Mega Flygon, nowhere near close, but it is free. Like, there's no restriction on it, so you can just go ahead and use it. Now, what happens is your Flygon's attack is higher than its special attack if you don't go with Mega Flygon. So we are going to be getting an Adamant Trapinch, and I'm going to put it in a Netball, even though it's not a bug type, it's a bug. So I'm like, yeah, why not? And then from there, we're going to end up raising this one into our Armored Flygon. We're also going to reach back to this Delta Litwick here. It's a fairy and fire type. You feed it an Oran berry and it'll join your team. So there's no way to really save scum or quickly save scum its nature. So you just have to make sure you get lucky, the 1 in 25 chance. Timid is your best bet. Yeah, so this is all happening down in the secret base. We're quickly evolving our stuff. So you can see we got Trapinch into Vibrava, Litwick into Delta Lampent, and then Vibrava again into Flygon. It wants to learn Dragon Claw. We will teach it some dragon moves, but then we'll get rid of them just because Tailwind is more important in the first place. So, yeah. And that's going to go over Dragon Rush. And over here at the move tutor for Resi Cavern, we're going to teach Lampent Earth Power. We want to put it over Dazzling Gleam, I guess. We're going to end up getting rid of Moonlight at some point. I forgot when. Oh, right now. Energy Ball. Yeah, so it can relearn Moonlight as a Chandelure. It's one of the 4 moves that it gets as Chandelure, so you can go to the move reminder and relearn that later. And also, it isn't necessary for your set because you're kind of frail to begin with. Anything that's going to be killing you is going to be killing you in 2 hits or less. Moonlight doesn't really help in those scenarios. So here's our armored Flygon. Look how awesome it looks. We're keeping Crunch. That is on purpose. Crunch is very, very critical, so don't get rid of that. We're going to need it for the next 3 major fights. Our Muk, we're going to be addressing Muk in a minute. Muk's regurgitation is going to change, but we haven't gained access to a lot of ability capsules yet. We're going to very soon, though. Nazca Town, not much going on here. You can get a free Mawulite. You're going to see that later. You can also get 1 to 3 Gen 1 starters. If you're going to do that, I recommend grabbing Bulbasaur because Bulbasaur is like the latest one that you can get from a hidden grotto. So here's the house that lets you do that. And also right southeast of this house is the Mawulite. So anyway, Bulbasaur can be traded in Amphitrite City for a Gibble. Yeah, you get to have an interesting encounter with the Cult of Darkrai. I guess this guy's actually the guy who passed away at the beginning of the game. We get to have a conversation with him in the guise of a Zoroark. Alright, we're moving on to Murk Forest. There is a nurse here for no reason. I guess if you're speedrunning, she's nice. But otherwise, you need to make sure that you bring a Strafe user. So I should have had Zatu in my party, but I didn't. Something to keep in mind for next playthrough. These 2 trees have berries in them. Nice to grab. And then on the left-hand side of this house, there's a grotto. That one contains Delta Shinx, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't actually go inside because I didn't plan on catching it. And then here you can finally get the choice items. So Scarf, Band, and Specs. And you can also get Life Orbs here. And you can get a couple of Mega Stones. So you got Ampharocyte, Slowbro and then Donphanite, which is a new Mega made up for this game. And most importantly, you can get a whole lot of ability capsules there, and it's very good to be able to do that when you have a Delta Muk, because it takes 2 ability capsules each time you re-roll Regurgitation to try to get a different Pokemon in your mouth as Delta Muk. We're also going to change our typing for custom move. Over here in this house, we're finally able to catch up to get a halfway decent physical move. We're going to be able to get Drain Punch. We're going to immediately teach Drain Punch to our Delta Muk. It's going to replace Submission, which is a okay technique, but nah. Like, we don't want to take recoil, we'd rather regain health. Exact opposite. And perfect accuracy on top of that. Now we're going to use those ability capsules. I think it took about 6-7 tries to actually do this, to get regurgitation with the type I wanted. For the fiery cavern, I wanted water. So we got Horsey. And now we're going to go through the puzzle here. The puzzle is not all that difficult, but it can be confusing just because graphics, and it doesn't work like you think a Pokemon puzzle works. It works a little bit more on like logic. And also you can easily misinterpret the last puzzle. So fight your way through the cultists here. And you're going to push this stone. This one's simple because you passed the goal on the way there. So just push it to the left and into the hole. You're going to have to push it into the hole from the front. You can just drop straight into it and hop across. I do go back to the front just because I don't know where I'm at. This is my first time doing this puzzle. You see, I go upstairs like, oh, okay, I get to where I'm at now. But go back downstairs, across that boulder again, and then you want to run to a couple more fights. There's going to be... I have this footage of Dunsparce putting work on Volcarona just because I like it. But there's going to be a second puzzle. Go ahead and knock that one down. And then this is the solution to this boulder. All the way right, then down a little bit, then all the way left. You can see I'm just looking around like, what do I do next? Okay, all the way left. Yep. This almost feels like public math watching myself try to solve this while keeping you entertained. Yeah, you might want to push that left. And down. And then finally right. And it's going to go block off that stream of lava, which allows you to get downstairs. And then this last boulder, you're going to push it off the cliff. That's the only way you can push it. And then you're going to push it over the bridge. You're going to have to push it around this guy. Probably. And then making sure you don't accidentally cut yourself off. All the way up. And then your goal is to push it into that lake with the bridge that you can't. With the bridge that you can't access. Once you do that, it'll raise the level of that lava, and now you're able to actually step onto that bridge, which in real life would kill you anyway, just because of all the heat down here. Honestly, with all this lava down here, you should not have made it down here. Like, the noxious fumes would have been over for you. But we're going to pretend that that doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter in real Pokemon. You go to Mount Chimney and you're just fine. So who cares? Anyway, you find out that the friendly neighborhood librarian was actually a op. And now you're going to have a nice little fight with him. So Zatsu leading out was not the best thing that could have happened. The best thing that could have happened would have been Delta Chandelure leading out. but Xatu is okay. It can still use, I think I have specs on, spec psychic to knock this guy out, one shot him. Now he's going to use regular Chandelure. We're going to swap to Michaela, our Delta Blasters. Should be a one shot, especially with Mega Launcher, but you never know. Ah, Focus Sash happened. Yep. And it's so... I almost fell into the... Let's just use Hidden Power to save PP. But I have to remember that the AI loves to use items against you. So you have to... Even if they're on 1 HP, just keep using your best shot against them. Because it'd be super sad if they heal all the way up and then they one-shot you in return. Alright. So we're going to send out Delta Muk with the Horsey inside of it. And we're going to use Drain Punch here. Now, this part actually is heartbreaking. Because we just barely missed the KO. Like, we're just barely out of KO range against this guy. So, I'm guessing what I should have used was maybe an Expert Belt. And I think an Expert Belt would have been enough to one-shot this bigger speed with Delta Muk. Or a Life Orb. Why not? We're using Drain Punch anyway. Alright, so Flygon versus Volcarona. Obviously this is going to be a one-shot. Like, yeah. And then I always do this with Dunsparce. I set him up for so much failure, but this time I'm going to at least be smart enough to know, alright, he hasn't used the Mega yet, so it has to be Mega Magcargo, which is immune to water attacks. By the way, Mega Magcargo is immune to water attacks. So we do use Solar Royal against it, our custom move. Not going to finish it because we got burned, but it allows us to move forward and get the finishing attack with one of these Pokemon. Probably Delta Chandelure is the only one I haven't used yet. And yeah, that's all she wrote. Alright, so more storyline. These guys had already captured Groudon a long time ago. I don't know why Nora insists on, hey, you gotta start sacrificing some people. Can we not? So maybe she hasn't seen them be all murderous before. But yeah, me and Damien have witnessed it firsthand. So we'd prefer not seeing anybody else made into blood sacrifices to try to summon these guys. Anyway, we're going to again do the ability capsule thing with Muk in order to get Dano into its mouth now, which will give it dark damage. We're going to start the spider quest by talking to this guy, but we're not going to be able to actually go there yet because we don't have Heart Swap. And we're not going to get it for a couple episodes. So we're going to go back to the library where the same op is still there. And at this point, we're going to be catching Delta Budew. You might have noticed I already technically had Delta Roserade before, but this is the point of which I should have done it. I did it early in practice, but in real terms, I should have done it at this point. So that's why I cut it and put it at this point. Anyway, we're going to wear it down very, very slowly with Sandstorm. Maybe I should have cut that part out. Because this is just me using Sandstorm over and over again. Anyway. But yeah, once its health is nice and low, we're going to finally capture the thing. Or maybe not even that low. Maybe I just lower it just a little bit. Get a Premier Ball in it. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. That's why I didn't cut it that low. I didn't cut it that low. Alright. So once we have Delta Budew, we need to train the thing. We're going to do what we've been doing. We're going to EV train it. We're going to max out its IVs with IV stones. We're going to get it all the way up to level, whatever the current level threshold is. I think it's like 69 by this point. Might be in the 70s already. One thing you absolutely need to do, go get a whole bunch of these berries from the department store in Helio City. These will help you raise its friendliness tremendously. Because if you didn't do it, and honestly, I probably could have used a friend ball or a luxury ball as well. Luxury ball would have been real nice actually, because it's nice and dark, matches the color scheme. But if you try to just EV train it and use those battles to increase its friendship, it's not going to work. And I know this because I tried it. It's already level 51 because I've been EV training and doing all kinds of stuff with it already. And I'm just like, bro, this thing has not evolved by friendship yet. Also, keep in mind that it evolves at night. So I got the evolution at 8 o'clock, a little after 8. And it evolves after leveling. So level at night with high friendship. In my opinion, just go ahead and throw 20 Kelpsy berries on it. You want it, if best possible timing would be, you want the level before level 19. You want to evolve into Roselia before level 19, and you want to evolve Roselia into Delta Roserade by level 28. But there was no way that was going to happen for me because I just couldn't get it to evolve into Roselia. So learn from my mistakes, use the berries in order to increase its happiness, and then use luxury ball as well if you can. Alright, so we're just learning more moves here. Moonblast, Dark Pulse, New Moon, and Heat Wave is going to be the moveset. I actually drew a blank for a second there. I couldn't remember what the last move was going to be like. What was the last move? I honestly, since getting this Pokemon, and I've had this Pokemon for a while now, I have not used Heat Wave on it. That's just making me think maybe it wasn't as necessary as I think it was. But realistically, where do you need Heat Wave at? I'm trying to think. I think it might have just been for good coverage. But maybe Calm Mind would make more sense. I don't know. Or Moonlight. By the way, Moonlight does get a buff in under New Moon, so just keep that in mind. Although most fairy type moves are weakened, Moonlight is strengthened under New Moon. Alright. Roselia is going to evolve into Roserade. Now, Roserade is able to learn a lot of strong wind moves, but honestly, it doesn't need them for coverage. Heat Wave would be better coverage, but it doesn't even really need that at this point in the game. Yeah. I'm thinking it probably should have. I probably should have went with like psychic coverage for poison types because it's weak to poison or steel. And that's the thing. The fire coverage is probably for steel, but I don't tend to run my Roserade into steel types that often. All right, that's where you get Shadow Claw at. So, upstairs in this house, you're able to learn Stealth Rock if that's your type of speed. I do not like Stealth Rock. I don't do Sneaky Pebbles, so I don't. Now, in the house next door, you're able to talk to one trainer who will tell you about the Delta Liepard. And then on the far west side of town, you'll speak to the another trainer. There's 4 or 5 people you need to talk to in total. So you just seen me talk to 2 of them, one in the second to the furthest right house and one in the furthest left house. The next one's going to be in the Pokemon Center. By the way, you get black glasses on the top floor of this tower. And you get a dark rock here. If you want to attach that to Delta Roserade, you can. Now, here's the guy we need to talk to in the Pokemon Center. You make sure that you tell him you have not heard about the beast. And he'll tell you a story. Here you're able to learn he's basically Pain Split move tutor. You're able to learn that, but he has ghost adjacent moves. Now, you could talk to one more person about Delta Liepard before you do this, but I don't have footage of it, so I'm just going to go ahead and knock out the Dark Rifle right now. So in the top area of town, approaching the gym, you have to handle the Dark Raikou. And now you're going to get some more storyline. Apparently these 2 are sisters. But Diana betrayed Persephone. By the way, I think those are like the Greekish names, or well, I guess Diana is the Roman name, right? Because it's Artemis in Greek. But yeah, I guess we have some mythology tie-in with these characters here. Anyway, this fight, I kind of set myself up for failure here. I go for New Moon and immediately get smacked pretty hard. I'm lucky she didn't immediately just kill over, but yeah, even with everything that's going on, it's like, yeah, I'm done. So we bring in Michaela and we immediately use are now boosted by the dark pulse. And I'm expecting to get a one-shot, but I don't. And it's because this was actually a Mega Zoroark, which is very interesting. And now I'm just smacking myself in the forehead like, bro, if I knew she was leading a Mega Zoroark, I would not have sent out Mega Roserade, or I would have used Moonblast instead actually on turn 1. But it is what it is. We take it down on turn 3. So she's ahead of us, but she also only has 5 Pokemon. So she's basically not that far ahead of us. We swap in Delta Dunsparce. Turns out Scarf on Delta Dunsparce is actually pretty dang good. Delta Dunsparce has max HP and attack EVs and it's adamant, so it's a really nice Pokemon for this event. Now we've got Chandelure. Because of the darkness, Moonblast is weakened, but it's still enough. Coming off of a base 145 special attack, of course. We swap out. Send in Dunsparce again. Now, even though Scarf makes it fast, it doesn't make it that fast. Greninja is still faster. So I learned something there, but it doesn't matter because we still have Delta Muk. It's going to use Ice Beam. That is super effective, but we have Drain Punch. And we didn't even get a follow-up hit because we didn't need it. Crit solved it for us. Now we got Hydreigon. It might have a scarf, but we already have a scarf too. This is Scarf Chandelure, so we're not worried about it. And that's a good game against Persephone. By the way, we're going to basically face this exact same team again and again because the next two major trainers are also going to be basically psychic ghost users. Ghost and psychic users. By the way, that was the fourth person we could have talked to. That person there in the southeast corner of town was the fourth person we needed to talk to. Then we needed to actually interact with Delta Liepard. It's just going to immediately run away. But now we talk to this kid by the gym, who only appears after we interact with Delta Liepard and fail. And then we can go back and then just go into any house or Pokemon Center. And now we can interact with Delta Liepard for real this time. So Delta Liepard is a ghost fairy type. Very good typing, especially for the enemy set that you're going to be coming up against in the near future. However, I don't need it for this team. Anyway, the gimmick to this gym is simple. Just walk straight forward. Literally straightforward. So there are no mandatory trainers in this gym. You can just go straight forward. Now, just like her sister, Diana is going to be basically a ghost user. So your lead off should be anti-ghost. We're going to go with Delta Roserade. So I'm just going to start with New Moon. Even though that helps her out a little bit, it helps me out more. Dark Pulse. Do half her health and damage. And then hopefully get the follow-up one shot. Or two shot rather. And it works out for us. So that's beautiful. Gardevoir, I don't know what I was thinking here. My brain just wasn't working correctly. Do I leave Roserade against this? Or do I swap? I can't remember. Maybe I did swap. Yeah, it looks like we swapped. Oh wow, I should have trimmed this part. I was doing really good at trimming fights, but this time I messed up by not trimming this fight down. Oh yeah, I should have definitely taken care. I'll do better in the future about taking care of my indecision points in post, because sometimes I just get stuck and I'm like, ooh, which should I use? I have no idea. All right, so I throw out Michaela, and here's my problem. I played a lot of Gen 1, 2, and 3. I played a lot of every gen up before fairies came out and became a thing. So Gardevoir being a fairy type is not obvious to me because my competitive career was Gen 3 and 4 mostly. A little bit of 5. Gen 6 was not my gen because they got rid of permanent weather and I wasn't happy about that, so I stopped playing. And because of that, I don't think fairy when Gardevoir comes out, and because of that, I got one shot. I got my guy one shot by a fairy, which is the one thing I'm supposed to be doing when I construct the team, is try to figure out ways to not get Michaela one shot, but it is what it is. Finally, we take it down. Gardevoir. Oh, actually, maybe we didn't take it down. She used the full restore. I'm having a hard time here. Okay. Gosh. Oh, that's bad luck. Okay. Yeah. You live by the water shuriken, you die by the water shuriken. Anyway, we're down to 3 Pokemon at this point. And she still has 5, including her current one. But I'm not going to quit immediately. I am going to try to play this out. So we're going to bring in Muk. This is where I realized my mistake of not having Rock Tomb. However, I am able to recover off the damage it tries to deal to me. And using Sandstorm allows me to deal chip damage to it instead. If I was smarter, I could have tried a Drain Punch here, and even though the punch itself wouldn't have hit, Dano's attack would have hit. But I'm not that smart. And I literally got Dano for reasons like this, like, huh, maybe I should try to carry a dark user inside of my mouth. Pause, but you feel what I'm saying. All right. Anyway, we're going to swap again because we were just doing this to bait out something other than what it was using. So we use Sandstorm here because using Destiny Bond. This is why it was a good idea to keep Destiny Bond though, to keep Sandstorm because of Destiny Bond. Because if it had only the offensive attack, I wouldn't have been able to beat it without losing Delta Muk. Now I've got a Pokemon and two halves of a Pokemon. Against 3. It's roughly 3-on-3. But now, Gothitelle. I know this has to be her Mega because Gothitelle is a new Mega in this game. Gothitelle is a Psychic Dark type as a Mega. So my goal is to basically hit that new Dark typing as it tries to become, Dark type. We do manage to do that. And I'm faster than it as Roserade, so no worries there. It goes down. She's going to send out real Chandelure. I go to my squad. I look at who I got left. I say, okay, Delta Chandelure, go take care of business. I do have Flash Fire in case it tries to use Overheat or something, but it doesn't. Instead it goes to Calm Mind, which is a misplay, so we're able to just straight up ignore it. And the last Pokemon he has is Cresselia. We're going to send out Roserade one more time. Her back must hurt because she is carrying this fight, by the way. She has been carrying this fight hard. New Moon, set up the darkness. Try to get some health going because of our burn, and then Dark Pulse, and we get the crit, knocking it out in one shot and ignoring its Calm Mind boost. So yeah, I got pretty lucky because she basically took out 3 of my Pokemon. She 3 for 1 being with the Gardevoir there. I got very, very lucky. We get the Psychic TM for beating her, and yeah, that is it for the gym battles in this, the 6th gym, I think. Yeah, there we see Tan going to the east into the Dragon Ruins, and then we could pick up the taxi quest. Once you pick up the quest, you talk to him about the quest, you're able to go into the black market. While we're here, we're going to go ahead and change back to a ground type custom move. Oh, excuse me. No, we're not. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are changing the ground type. I think we changed the rock type before this. But anyway, we're also going to teach Rock Tomb because we don't want to be stuck not being able to do anything again. Just gonna teach it over Sandstorm. And then our last line item is to go to these guys. The one on the left hand side, I did pick up Rock Tomb just because Rock Tomb is so weak. If I really wanted to be strong, I probably should have a Rock Tomb. But the one on the upper left sells the taxi, one of the taxi pieces we're looking for. We only need to find 2 of them. So the other one is going to be found during the next episode. So as always, if you like this episode, like, subscribe, let me know, ring the chime echo. And yeah, this is it. Peace. It's been Squirrel World. Hope you've enjoyed it.